Welcome to the Typography Basics lesson. You're going to need some paper, pencil and eraser, ruler, thin tip MAC marker, and your reference sheet PDF. This is almost like a typography cheat sheet. This is going to show the basics like underline and bold and italics. These are things that you should already know how to do. Then to evoke emotion, there's small letters, there's capital letters, and there's also making the letters and words go different directions. Then there's serif and sans serif. Now, serif has small lines on the end, and this is used for often in books and printed forms. This is sans serif. Sans means without the serif, so it does not have the small lines at the ends. This is traditionally used in computer or on screens. These right here where the arrows are, these are embellishments like arrows, dots, lines, shapes, flourishes, textures. These will give you more personality and also structure. This is script. Script is cursive. Brush script is cursive made with a brush. These are bubble letters to the left. These are empty letters that you fill with different designs, and the M was a line. Now these are swashes. That's the ornamental swoops and swirlies that you would put on to make it look fancier. This is tracking, the spacing between the different letters. You can use narrow and tall or narrow and short letters. And there's also wide letters as well. I like to use that a lot. This is like a menu where you can pick and choose and combine many different ingredients. What I did is I'm taking a quote from Star Wars that Yoda said, "Do or do not, there is no try," and I made a bunch of sketches. I would encourage you to do the same thing, because often our first try is not usually the best that we can do. So always plan ahead, make those thumbnail sketches. So I'm going to go off of my thumbnail sketch that I showed you there, and first I want you to kind of outline, sorry it's kind of hard to see, but outline how wide, how tall, and about where you want your quote to be. So block out your plan. Okay, and then I'm using some of these elements, the design elements that I pointed to before. I'm using those design elements are going to help me and lead me. So I've decided I'm going to combine using small letters and bubble letters, as well as designs in the middle. And I'm going to have some lettering in between that just kind of gives me some guidance. I'm going to start sketching out the letters. I'm going to make a big D for do. Again, do or do not. There is no try by Yoda. So my emphasis is going to be on the word do for this entire, that's where I want the main focus to be. So as I slide up that wavy line, I am adjusting each of my letters to go with it. I decided I wanted a double line. This will be a little easier for you to see here. Now, as you see me pausing, often I'm looking at the cheat sheet that hopefully you have printed out, and this cheat sheet will help me to kind of put what ingredients together. So I already have do, or, and then this is going to be do not, and I'm going to kind of have those letters grow larger to kind of stay along that lower line under the D. And I'm going to actually create these as calligraphy lines, and I'll show you how that goes in a moment. That's more of a script, more of a cursive-y, but not where the lines run together. Okay, do or do not. Now I'm going to take all capitals and I'm going to space them apart. So I'm going to take the tracking. This is the word there. I'm going to take the tracking and space them out and make them wide letters. So that's 4 different ingredients: capitals, tracking, and wide letters. I guess it's also sans serif. Okay, is in script lettering. Okay, and the word is no. Trying to get this just right, trying to figure out how I want to do this. I want to write no try. With a short tail. I could have made that long and full of embellishments and swashes, but I chose to have a small one. By Yoda. Make sure you have all your quotes. If there's an attribution to it, make sure you make that. Alright, so now that we've drawn that, let's go ahead and outline it with our black marker. Okay, so as you're outlining it and adding all those details to prep it for what you're going to be creating, remember what you kind of originally thought that you wanted. This OR, I wanted that sans serif feel. Now these bubble letters, I'm gonna do kind of a dual design. So I'm gonna fill it in on the top, and then on the bottom I'm gonna have nice, beautiful, straight lines. Okay, and fill it in. Now I find I can fill it in with this pin, no problem. However, I do find it easiest to maybe do some of the more detailed areas in this kind of marker, but then go back and take the thicker marker and fill that in. And that's what I'll do. A little bit of a thicker marker there, not much, just your standard felt tipped pin. Okay, there's my lines. Okay, so this do not, what that is going to be a calligraphy where I widen more along the edges, but it's an uneven widening. So what you see is I'm kind of do some bubble lettering, but it's actually kind of creating it, and I think I want it to be serif as well. I'm creating it so I can fill it in, but it has that texture of a calligraphy pin where it gets thinner and wider. Okay, I'm just going to make it a nice thin single line for there. Again, sans serif. So as you can tell, there's a lot of emphasis on the top. I think that bottom area, that bottom word, no try, I believe that needs some extra emphasis. So I think I'm just gonna make it straight lined, kind of a thin bold, where again, it's all small lettering, but it's more tall and narrow. To kind of even out the bold and strong lettering at the top. So this will be sans serif as well. I was thinking it kind of needed a little extra embellishment there, so I added those lines. I'm just adding the last little bit. Now, remember I told you I made those thumbnails? Oh, go ahead and clean it up first. with your eraser to try to make sure the ink is nice and dry before you start taking the erase to it. Now, remember I told you I did all those different sketches? Well, I tried out this other one right here, where the big do and then or do not, where it's going up. A script there and small letters no. So there's the bold do, and then there's the serif or do not. There's the script there. The small is no, and the direction, of course. The small is no. Okay, and then try, what do you think that one is? Yep, it's the brush. I'm just sitting here picking out all kinds of things because they really do mix together. You can mix these up like an ingredient. You can make a tortilla or a cake out of this. So these are the two different ones that we tried with the same saying by Yoda. Yoda's a smart guy, do or do not. There is no try. So I'd like to see what you make and what quote you chose. So your assignment is to pick a quote, decide the mood or the feeling you'd like to have it, and then start making some sketches. You can make it fit into different arrangements. You can have it just the quote. You can have it alongside a drawing. And then pick your favorite quote thumbnail that you drew and block it out with your ruler and then sketch it in and see if that one works. I'd love to see what you make. Go ahead and email me any of your pictures and I can post them up onto the website. Thanks for joining me in my studio.